Hey, greetings everyone. We're going to jump into a Theros Beyond Death best of one draft. We have 5,000 gold. A couple entries left here. Thank you for that sub, Oil Can. We've been having a pretty nice run in Theros. I don't have my spreadsheet fully updated, so I don't know my exact win percentage, but I feel like our success rate has been pretty high. I don't know if we've come under 3 wins in best of 1 yet, and we only had a couple of 2 wins in best of 3, so I think by and large we're having some early success with the format, even as we struggle with the punt count. I am continually humbled by this format as I try to learn all the ins and outs, remember all the little tricks, but it's been we've been winning, but by the skin of our teeth and with a little bit of ego bruising for me along the way as I make some onboard errors and that kind of thing. But you know, it's Magic. It's tough. It's hard, but we love it. And you're going to love the results you get for your Magic if you take your business to cardkingdom.com for all your physical needs. Cardkingdom.com is my sponsor. They've been sponsoring me for a while now. I love them. They're my favorite local game store and the Mox Boarding House stuff. And they're my favorite online digital retailer for Magic stuff. If I need to get anything for my physical game, whether it's supplies, singles, or sealed product, I'm going to go to Card Kingdom first to give them first shot at my dough. I always check around, though. I tell you about Card Kingdom, and it's not like I don't comparison shop. You got to do that. It's an expensive hobby, so you really got to make sure that the businesses are competing against each other for your business. And Card Kingdom knows that, and they really work hard to earn your business, both with their prices, their service, and their quality. So I believe that if you keep them on your radar for any of your purchase needs, and especially your selling needs, you're going to be really happy with your results there. And of course, if you visit them via my affiliate panel down below in the links, they know you got there from here, and then you're helping my stream too. And it's just wins all around. And that's what we're all about here. Chasing wins. Let's see how many we can get today. Temple of Malice is basically opening on a gem pick, if we want to take that, which we probably will with the way that I draft this free-to-play account. I try to model with my decisions here the approach of collection building via draft, and that means rare drafting a lot, especially pack one, pick one, where you don't know your colors. I think the best card for draft power is going to be the Nessian Wanderer. If I'm day 2 of the GP, I'm taking the Wanderer. Pretty much not close. I do like Chimera, Return to Nature, and Spider. And this Fishify and Revoke are also quality. Got a lot of quality enchantment and creature removal here. I'm going to take, it's playable gems too. If we happen to end up in black, we'll play it. And if we happen to end up in black splashing red, or vice versa, but more likely end up in black splashing red than the other way around. So I'm going to take Temple. I'll leave it in the main deck, and we'll see if we play it. If you are drafting purely for win percentage, I'm going with the uncommon 1/3 Enchantment Fall, Find a Land dude. In this case, we've got Elspeth's Nightmare, which has been rising in my estimation. Always seems to be some target for the 2 power, and then it's been getting something on chapter 2 about half the time. Seems like you're about half the time snagging something with chapter 2. And really what's pulled this card up for me is realizing that chapter 3 is quite relevant, especially in the late game. You know, these types of cards with their chapter 1 deal power, you know, kill power 2 can fall off in the late game. But in this format, at least the chapter 3 is quite relevant in a grind fest, right? So I like that. There's also Chimera. But I think I'm going to go ahead and follow our opening land and take the Nightmare. Not that this is really influencing this pick. This could be the, some other temple, and I'd still be leaning Nightmare here. Chimera is nice also. The 2 Chimeras are both nice, but we're taking Nightmare. Nothing leaping out at me here as very good. Funeral Rites, playable, and on Nightmare color, so that's kind of leaning. I mean, I guess we take Impending Doom, but yeah, these are both, like, maybe we take Furious Rise on the possible build around. But I don't think this goes in a black deck. You really want to pair this with green, I think. If you're not doing this with green 4 power stuff, I think you're probably doing it wrong. But we could take this and see if that's where we end up. Maybe we splash black. We can take it mainly because there's no opportunity cost here other than funeral rites, a traveler's amulet, and some high risk auras. I think both of these are pretty high risk to play. This, you have to leave up 3 mana to find a window to do the sure thing. And this, of course, is just classic aura problems of, yes, it might win you the game, but it also might lose you the game when you get 2 for 1. Hey, Canuck Monkey, glad you could make it here. We got Canadian apes in the house. Let's try Furious Rise since the opportunity cost is low, but I'm not gonna, well, okay, well now there's a second one. We could really try and go in on this. And again, there's not much we'd be giving up to do it is the thing. I mean, look at this garbage pack. There's Thirst for Meaning and these are both pretty solid in blue. But I suppose I mean, we could take a Moss fight. Yeah. Do you like this? Are we doing it? I guess. All right, fine. We'll see if we can make this work. Well, here's a mischievous chimera that actually fits the Furious Rise colors, but doesn't really feel like blue-red is where we want to be to try and make Furious Rise work. Again, I was thinking of this as almost a Gruul card. We could take the Berserker and try and make it a red-black card somehow. It's one of these two. But again, this is just not a Furious Rise card at all. So, yeah, we can take Berserker. You want a Chimera? What Chimera? Oh, you want the Chimera, this Chimera. Too many Chimeras in this set. When somebody says Chimera, I gotta look at, even though I was just talking about it. We could vote with this. How does Chimera work with Rise? I don't understand. My point is it's not 4 power, but maybe you mean something else. 20 seconds to do Chimera or Rage. I'll just do Rage for the Rage Scarred Berserker. So it's one of these two. I think. I mean, you could say other. If you want to vote other, I'll take that into consideration. But like, I think it's just following one of these two. Chimera not even really close. Okay, I'll take the Rage. Harpy's been falling as 1 toughness continues to be under pretty heavy assault in this format. Nothing to support Furious Rise in the pack, unless we, again, want to kind of take a flyer towards, you know, ramping green-red may be where we want to be. Yeah, I don't want to take this, and boy, maybe I should just take Harpy, but I'm drawn to this Wolf Willow Haven because if we got a couple of accelerators on 2, then a red-green ramp towards big stuff with Furious Rise actually starts to make a lot of sense for me. Yeah, all right, we'll take Haven as a hedge. I don't know if we're going to play it, but these are so replaceable, right? This is a real plan coming together with Furious Rise, and the black cards are just kind of whatever. Here we have Impending Doom we could pick up late, and surely Impending Doom on anything turns on Furious Rises. And, of course, there's Cetessan Training as generically good green aura that could help towards Furious Rise, but I think we just take Impending Doom. Huh. All right, last fresh pick of the pack. We've got a Fishify still in the pack in blue. We got a Forerunner that can jump in and do the green-red thing I was talking about. Pursuit has been solid. Thanks, Mabinat. Appreciate that. Yeah, we could take some blue here. Do we really want to bank into blue when we can just grab a Forerunner? I've been not loving the Forerunner, though, honestly. I mean, it does work with the Furious Rises, but I'm wondering how... Am I just dooming myself, no pun intended, on these by trying to make Furious Rise work? Like, we could also look at something, you know, look at it this way, and suddenly it's like, wait, we're on the old typical green-black path. You know, we don't have to marry these Rises. But to that extent, like, it would be drafting the really hard way to pick up a blue card here. All right, I'm going to take Forerunner. I think Fishify is better, but I think we're in a spot where we're in that. Well, this is a good sign that Spider came all the way back around. Maybe I'm overrating this, but I think it's better than 9th. Brute turns on the rise, but not in a way that I appreciate. We could take Portent, but we're not really doing that in this deck either. I think we could take either of these and we hope to cut them, but we'll go with Brute since it at least combos with our Furious Rises. So if we're desperate for playables, we're like, well, we hate this, but at least it does work with our uncommons. This could help turn on Furious Rise as well, but I'm not that desperate to do that. We'll take a Thrill and try not to play it. Yeah, these packs have not been great, but maybe we'll be bailed out coming up. Take a Traveler's Amulet in case of this Black Splash. Rider's playable, and it is trying to get rewarded for 4 power, so at least it's more 4 power payoff, such as it is. Sunset, I get what the sword can do, but I don't think it's a good place to spend mana. I think it's a bad place to spend mana, and I don't want to spend my mana there. I think it's too clunky. Rider's not bad, no. It's definitely playable, but it's not super exciting, right? Just playable. And then Careless Celebrant, though, is pretty exciting. And as a 2-for-1 and a 2-drop in our colors, a potential 2-for-1, and we're low on 2s. I want to take the... I'm eyeing the Shatter for the gems and the playability. This is a good playable card. Gas... Well, I love you guys with the Easy Gary Grasp. I don't even think we're black anymore, so I don't know. Anybody saying Easy Gary, I don't... Are you looking at what we've drafted, Coolio? Coolio, this is not an Easy Gary. If you're going to take a black card, I think you take Myers Grasp, and then... but I don't think you take a black card when we're looking red-green at this point. Careless Celebrant is just excellent. I don't know, you guys, it's tough to pass black cards when you don't think we're black. I mean, we could still be, but like, I don't care about this card at all, like barely at all. So in my mind, we have 1 black card, and we took 2nd pick. So I'm taking the Celebrant. I think we'll be better rewarded for our commitment to red-green. And here, I really want this Omen, but we have to get our 4 powers, right? Grasp is an easy splash, but the power difference between Grasp and Careless Celebrant is not that large. It's not about how good or playable Grasp is in the deck. It's about how good and playable it is relative to other options and the on color. And we're just like, look at our 2s. This is why I took the Celebrant. Look at this. We're trying to be a deck, and you know how I feel about 2s. We got 3 cards we can play before 3 right now, and that's not enough. Yeah, I'm gonna take Omen, but I'm sad to see this 3 mana 4 power go. Oh no, do get me started on 2 drops. It's good info. Renata seems like where we're gonna head here, right? Nothing pulling us anywhere else but Renata. And I'm going to keep the Elspeth Nightmare in as a possible splash here. We do have this Temple. It's funny, when we took the Temple for gems, I figured if we played it, it would be because we were heavy black and wanted half on color Temple, but it looks like we're going to play it because it might actually splash some black. For a pack with more than half the cards in our color, this is a bad pack. Like, none of these are actually good. Yeah, maybe we take the Oread. I've not seen this do much. But yeah, I actually think I like just a straight up Grove Dancer over the Oread. What do you think? We're taking one of these twos. And a lot depend, you know, this is more defensive. This is more long game. This is saying we want to block some early aggression and start looting our lands in the late game, right? So ultimately, this is kind of a grindy card. This is more of just your generic 2, right? But do we have reasons to... I mean, we have Chain Web, so activating this to fill our graveyard has some value. Let's pull this one. We're definitely taking a 2, so which one do we want? Do we want the Oread or the Dancer? A lot of blue. Blue is the color that, like, if you had leaned blue at some point, there were some early places where we might have taken a Fishify, might have taken a blue card draw spell. There's some points at which we, if it entered into blue, it might actually be going well for us right now. I think blue seems pretty open in this draft. All right, I'll give the Oread a try. I've certainly tried a lot of Dancers of late, but I've never run this card, so I'll see if you all are right about it overperforming. Here's a Grove, and also the Grove Dancers go just bonkers late. Blood Aspirant is a nice threat to have on board. Yeah, blue-red could have been a deck, I think. If we'd ended up blue-red, I think we'd be fine as well. No, it's too late to switch. We're not doing any switching now. We have a nice Renata. I mean, I guess our green is pretty weak. That's actually fair. Like I was thinking we were pretty locked into green, but there's some things that could happen here that could bank us away from green, I suppose. But I really like the Renata and the Chain Web in particular that we have. But we'll take Blood Aspirant. Threat of activation really strong in this one. It can change the way they play even if you're not actively picking anything off. Escape Velocity seems fine in an aggressive deck, but I don't think we are aggressive enough. We're just trying to... you're not really aggressive if you're trying to take advantage of Furious Rises at some point. And again, speaking of that, we're not exactly loaded with ways to take advantage of that. We can take an Arena Trickster here as a 4-drop that with a little bit of help can actually turn on the Furious Rises. I don't know, we had 2 of them yesterday marching to 7 wins, Funky, and I'm not saying that, hey, we had 2 and won 7 times, therefore it's good. What I'm saying is I got a lot of experience with it yesterday, and I think it performed as expected. I'm not going to oversell it, but like it was a nice speed bump. With reach, it's in like the trouble with stuff you want to die that doesn't have reach is if you're being beat by flyers, it might not matter, and this thing you want dead is sitting there not doing anything. But with the reach, you tend to be able to trade it off, and then really escaping it for 5 mana as a 4/5 reach was quite good. I mean, if you saw a card in the pack that was just like 3 GG 4/5 reach, you'd be like, wow, that's a nice card. And it's kind of how I feel like it is, except for you pay 1 mana up front and gain some life. It's kind of like an adventure card that for a green mana you gain some life, and then for 5 you get to cast the creature. And yeah, I mean, it kills flyers when it comes back. I think it's performed quite well. Wow, Media. Anemic on both ends. Media's calling a 4/5 reach for 5 anemic. And keep in mind, 4/5 reach for 5 that has flashback. Like, I can't believe I'm hearing people say that this is like actively not good. I mean, you can say that it's not a bomb or whatever, but this has been a well above replacement, shall I say. To try and be very clinical and literal, well above replacement, the Chain Web has been. Okay, as for this pick, again, a lot of replacement stuff here. Do we want another 2? We don't have much going on at 4. But also, do we have anything to, can we make the Trickster 4/4? We have 1. Don't we have, oh, I think I put it in the board. Yeah, we have a Thrill that we could run to try and support that. We have Omen. What else do we have at instant speed here? That's it right now. So that's pretty low. Right now, we're only doing 2 things here. Yeah, but I still think it's the pick, and then we see if we can make it work, and we cut it if we can't, right? All right. I like a Final Flare, but we're just going to take Mystic Repeal. Good to have one of these lurking in your deck somewhere. This has been stuck in my hand or doing something underwhelming only a handful of times. Mostly it finds something quite good to bin, to get rid of. Yep, it is another Trickster trigger. That's a good point. But we're going to take a Grove Dancer here. We're decent on 2 drops now. We're getting there. Oh, we're better. I forgot about the Aspirant, so we're even 1 up when I thought. Yeah, we're very solid on 2s now. If we take the green Omen, what are we trying to do? It does really set us up to be able to splash black, and then we could take like any Final Death we found. Well, because we are nice on 2s, and because 1 toughness is falling in my estimation, I'm going to take the Omen. Yeah, it also does help make the Trickster a 4 power. Right now, we're not playing it. We don't have anything to splash that we care about. But between Traveler's Amulet, Omen, and Temple, we can now splash single black pretty trivially. So we're going to look out for those opportunities. Here, though, we're going to take a Vault Progress. This is not something where we would ever splash. Maybe we'd play a Wrap somehow, or I don't think. This is all sideboard stuff, and we're best of 1 is the problem. I take another Dancer here. You just get all the Dancers you want. In fact, maybe we should just take a Gift. Yeah, I'm going to take a Gift. We're so loaded on 2s now that we can do that. I don't think we're going to run this Velocity. Nice to get. Here's something we could splash, but what does this do for us? We watched somebody wreck us with this yesterday. One of our 2 losses was to Enigmatic Incarnation finding Pelucranos. Yeah, we did not win that one. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another enchantment, so you can't sacrifice this one. If you do, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the enchantment's converted mana cost, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So yeah, it's all well and good, but we're nowhere. I don't think we're not really doing anything good to take advantage of that. So we're going to take the super solid Destiny Spinner. All right, Horn Beetle's also looking for those 4 powers that we don't have yet. I'm going to take it, and then we are going to do some collective mental efforts to alter the RNG in our favor and pick up some stupid 3 mana green chimeras from here. Ready? Here we go. Well, no 3 mana chimeras. We can take another Impending Doom that turns anything into Furious Rise enabler, but we also just take a simple second Omen, have a couple of Omens. Rage Hound is good. I think it will wheel. And if we take Omen of the Forge, it also further suggests we might be able to run this Trickster. Aspect, I also expect to wheel, or I'm willing to take late. I'm going to take Omen, and then I'll take any of these red cards besides Cunning late and be happy about it. Yes, I agree with all of you on most of what you're saying. I'm still going to try and wheel that stuff. And here, we can get a... We got an icicle at 2 now. We can splash Eutropia. What does that get us? Do we have enough going on? Oh yeah, I wish I could look at enchantment counts. 1, 2, 3, 4 if we play it 5, 6, 7 if we play it 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we have a pretty high enchantment count. Yeah, it's probably, well, it might be Manticore more than training because this gets something to 4 power more reliably. And surely Eutropia helps us get to 4 power as well as we put counters on stuff. I'm just not sure about splashing when, like, we could cut the wolf, we could cut the Haven, cut the Nightmare, cut the Amulet, and then we look like we have a much meaner, leaner, get it done green red, you know, cut this Omen. Yeah, or a War Leader. Yeah, probably. I'm just looking at it because, man, there's also, it would be so much easier to take Eutropia if there was garbage for our colors, but this is actually pretty nice set of stuff for our... Yeah, we're definitely not playing the Thrill. You're right about that. But we'll take a flyer. I think you're right. Eutropia is pretty darn powerful. And here we have a nice... Here's the pack 1, pick 1 that we passed on to take the gem pick in the Temple of Malice. We'll grab one of these now, though. Another Horn Beetle. Man, we are just so desperate for 4 power now. Like, I want to take Tower Scout. I mean, I say we're desperate for 4 power, but I don't think I want to go big. I think I like that we're kind of topping out at Forerunner here. Deck's looking bad to you? I don't think it looks bad. I think this has some play. Yeah, I'm going to take the Tower Scout, and we'll see what we can do to make them a little bigger. But I don't like running these if I can help it. But we'll take a couple here. Certainly not closing out the way I'd like, and I'm really sad that we got no Chimeras. We have all this 4 power stuff and no Chimera action. That's just sad town. It's feeling like it now, Buckeye. Here's that wheel. We get a Rage Hound at least, and a Manticore does the trick as well. All right, well, we can build our own 4 powers pretty reliably, but we don't have a lot of natural ones. Five cuts, current numbers 18-10 on creatures with 13 enchantments. This makes me want to cut the Oread as a little too clunky. Cut Gift. One of these scouts at least. Yeah, we can probably go 16 on this one. We're all at 2 and 3 with just a handful above, so we'll cut a land as well. I think we've been debating playing the half on color scry land, but I think if we're splashing, it makes me want to do that less. I don't know. Yeah, we're not exactly a pursuit deck in the sense of taking heavy advantage of graveyard, but we do have 1 chain web, and also this does a reasonable enough divination impersonation that I don't need to have the synergies to make me want to use it. Yeah, land bling has been used. In fact, Brian should be thinking about what we want to do on that front. 2 escapers. What's our other? Thank you for that. What's our other? Oh yeah, the Rage Hound. Sure. Thank you, Buckeye. Appreciate that. Yeah, nobody's picked the deck box. If someone wants to redeem their points, they could choose which card art we use for the deck box. And let's see, to be really annoying, until then I'm going to use Traveler's Amulet. No, that's too good. We'll use Gift of Strength. That's pretty weird, ugly art. In that the creature is ugly, not that the art's not good. Does Aspirant make sense with no sack synergy? Maybe it doesn't. That could be a cut. Like, the thing is, it's got a threat of activation that's nice, and you're still sacking stuff. Like, whenever you sacrifice a permanent, you do this. Let's cut Omen. No, sorry, we are splashing. I was thinking we had cut the splash. Maybe Stampede Rider can go. Or just the other Tower Scout. Yeah, I'm going to cut this other Tower Scout. It doesn't do anything. It tries to help out in little ways here and there, but I don't think it does enough. Let's just do this. And then fix our lands. Oh, we were going to go down a land, though, right? So we could run the Scout and cut down to... Oh, no, we have 41, right? Okay, so we're going to go... Boom, boom, boom. Right? Yeah, we can cut Forest and add Amulet. It's a little clunky, but since we're splashing, I'm willing to do that. And that gives us the 3 sources. And Brian, you wanted Avon, right? $14, $15, $16. Tight but doable. This is a place where we're taking advantage of the algorithm a little bit because we'll likely find something that has... So Traveler's Amulet can survive on a 1 or 2 lander and pretty much be 3. What did Croker want? Keeping the Hairless Cat. All right. Even though it's not in the deck. I like Croker's style. Okay. And what are we calling this one? Let's see. We'll also check. Looks like we've got friend request. It was a unexpected splash. We thought we might be headed to black. We want 4 power. How about do it for power? Or Furious for power. Oh, I can't do that. I forgot I don't have control over that anymore. Here. Boom. Back to that. I like it being more subtle, the four gag. I think if I put the number 4 here, it is too spoilery. All right. 15 lander. I know, Pajamin. But technically... Well, if we just do Teamertron from the start of the game every time, this should be fine. We got 2 into a 3 that will trigger our 2. And a 5 that will trigger our 3. Par 7 from Mama. Is that a hint? You want to par pole this? Sure, we can par pole this. Where's my par pole? Hold on. Yeah, let's go Rise here. We can Omen later. Nothing. Brutal. So these go to the bottom. And the amulet going to the bottom. Well, we have some other shuffle effects, so those probably won't stay on the bottom for too long. Here's your par pole. If we were to play this event with this deck a million times, what would our average win count be? Oppo curving out nicely too here and putting some pressure on. We've got a block though. They're playing like me, running stuff out pre-combat to let us know this is a free block. I'm not sure I risk this block with Oppo with mana untapped. Well, we can Aspirant here and still... no, we can't. We can't Aspirant and Forge because of lack of color. So maybe I should have done this differently. This is Flash, though, so let's hang the Wanderer back. I wanted to use this to make 4-power stuff is the problem. Discipline, Mama. I seriously doubt if we played this a million times that we would average 7 wins. I appreciate your support, but, you know. We played a land, so I rushed out a land thinking I had a line and then saw that I didn't have the color for the line I wanted. So now I'm trying to figure out what the fallback is, whether we keep the Omen up anyway, or whether... Because we could Omen and potentially even pick off the Naiad. This is going to be problematic. What do we do here? We could also Pursuit to make sure we get Forerunner, but we're just falling behind on this board. I think maybe we need to kill the Grove Dancer. Yeah, we get to hold both, so I'm going to say no attacks and end it. And I think what we likely have to do, though, is Omen the Grove Dancer. Or perhaps the Moss Viper, depending on what we are more afraid of. Although Blood Aspirant can, in a pinch, pick off the Moss Viper. And also Aspirant does have Omens that it can use to... Oh, well... Not much we can do about that. I guess we're losing our Nessian Wanderer, but after targeting, I will cast the Omen and kill the Grove Dancer at least. Well, if we do Aspect of Manticore, what does that do for us? I mean, we get a 3/3, and then it gets eaten, right? That doesn't do anything. So we just have to we're going to let this go. There's nothing we can do to really positively affect this outcome, but we will take out the Grove Dancer and hopefully find a land. But we're basically in a spot now where we need this Forerunner to land and stick, and basically them not to have an enchantment to send the Wave Rider into the air. But if we can drop the Forerunner and hold off here, that could work. We could also play the Blood Aspirant and threaten to get it big enough. Nah, we just got to do the Forerunner here. I don't think Aspirant and Manticore does enough on defense the next turn for that to be the play. Don't think we have much for that. We've got our aura that, or not our aura, our instant speed enchantment solution. Yeah, but gets first strike so that we can do what? Block a Naiad? Like, nah. Like Blood Aspirant plus this gets 3 power or first strike. What, that doesn't do anything for us on this board. Not really, when this is the problem. And it's still the problem. Looks like it's going to stay that way. How do we win? Is there... I guess we can look for our spider as a starting point. Let's see, we're playing blue because of Eutropia, so we'll leave that blue available and go hunting with this pursuit. Does Rider do anything for us? Oh, that's right. I forgot Eutropia was at the bottom. Well, we'll take the Horn Beetle, which at least gets big. Yeah, we could also leave that, but I think that is too telegraphing. I'm going to take a turn to do this rather than leave the Manticore up. We're kind of just dead to this. But I think with these two... Actually, next turn we get Horn Beetle. Like, if they're out of enchantments, we need them to be out of enchantments. But if they're out of enchantments, we actually have hope here. And right now we have Omen and Aspect. And I'm thinking... Now this is going to double. I guess we leave it all back. Well, we want them to attack. Let's see. They're going to become 9 toughness. And so we want to have 9 power in our offering to be able to deal with it. And by showing 8 power, it encourages the attack. Like if we keep all of this back, it's possible they just don't attack on their turn and wait until this gets out of range of even these 3. Whereas if we send the Horn Beetle, we encourage a counterattack that the aspect of Manticore helps us at least trade, and that's our goal here. So I'm sending this in hopes that it produces. Oh, that's true. They could have blocked with the Viper, but I still wanted to attack just to encourage. Like, we really need them to crack back next turn. It's quite vital that they go for an attack on the ground with Wave Rider next turn. Even with the Omen. Well, let's see what they do. I'm taking some risks here, but folks, we're up against a Wave Rider with a Hydra's Growth. Like, I'm taking some risks. My 100% focus is on coming up with anything that gives us a chance to block and kill that thing. Yeah, so they got there anyway. And that's it. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that we at least had a plan. Maybe you had a better one, but I'm at my most flailing when I don't even know what my plan is. And at least I had a plan for their obvious threat. And if in the context of planning for the thing that we had to answer, I was missing some stuff on the small side, so be it. Sometimes a problem is so large that every other problem you're facing is not even worth your mental. It's somewhat like not playing around a trick you can't beat. Like, well, if we're lethal to the other stuff, then we're totally dead. So I'm going to focus my mentality on the thing that I know we have to kill, and then hope we live on the other stuff. And Mystic Repeal wasn't even going to be a blowout, right? Because the counters stay on. So all it does is keep the counters from growing. Looks good. Let's see if Chain Web can prove its value. Some are suspicious of the spider's quality, but I have found it to be quite good. What I'd like is something to do on 3. That'd be really nice. Ruh-roh. This does stuff, right? Let's see. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless escaped. When it enters or attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. So if we pitch a land, we lose 3. And then they can come back on 4 if they escape 5 others. Okay. Well, we are going to... Well, we could ditch the repeal if we just wanted to try and go creature on this. We could ditch a land, but then we put ourselves maybe not able to cast these on time. That is rough, but yeah, I guess we're gonna go greedy, like I usually do. And the greed pays off. Yeah, these are from Unhinged. These are my favorite lands historically, but they're coming up with some new stuff that's got my attention. I really do like the Nyx mana symbol lands. I think they do a great job of communicating what they're supposed to. So this is fine. I mean, great. We've I don't even think of that as a... I don't even think of the 1/2 as a card. The thing that's a card is the 4/5 that comes out of your graveyard. Oh, you're so late, Rage Hound. If we could have swapped Rage Hound for that land in our draw, it would have been much better. We'd have this Rage Hound going and drop a Trickster here. We're just going to drop Trickster now, though. Go max mana. So we're offering a trade there. Yeah. We've got Forerunner and Rage Hound, so I'm down with a trade for this Trickster if they want. Now I'm gonna Forerunner. I'm not gonna Rage Hound. Let's just drop the 5/3. Looks like Oppo's stuck on land for one thing. I didn't think they were going to block there anyway. If they did, I would have been so fine with that. Let's see. Now, if we wait on the repeal, we can get the Trickster to be a 4/4. If we attack with the 5/3, what are they going to do? Are they going to block? Well, they could, because they get a couple of dudes back, and it's a 1-for-1, right? We only have 5 power, so it's probably they probably just double block there. If they do, though, we get to Mystic Repeal in that spot. Their thing grows. Wait, oh, each combat, right. I was thinking it was just theirs. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna repeal and bash. No messing around. We still get the Hound play too. Thanks for having me read the Rider. Was really thinking of it as their turn only, because it's unusual, right? I mean, usually this stuff is combat on their turn, so maybe I need to upgrade the Rider in my estimation a little bit. Yeah, it's true. I'd have a little reminder moment. Stephen observes. Well, they probably have to trade for the Rage Hound, and then doesn't that give us... I think that gives us Spider action. Trouble is, it is at the cost of the Rage Hound, whereas we could bring back the Rage Hound and not exile the Spider. What's better? Probably with where they're at, let's just do the Rage Hound. Hey, Nantuko. Yeah, I should have just played the land, right? Because with nothing to discard, all I'm doing is doing 3 damage to myself if they do that. Although we kind of win. Although, yeah, they didn't have the cards in yard for it. Is the thing. Oh, right. I have to discard something besides a non-lander. I take 3. Got it. Magic cards. So full of rules. Well, got to attack with 4/2, so obviously we're sending the 3/3 as well. Too bad we did not draw some other action, right? Like, if this were any kind of creature, putting 2 lethal threats on board would be so great, because then any one creature of theirs is not enough. Unfortunately, now 1 creature is enough. They can just drop their anything and not die. Oh, Furious Rise, you're so funny. But we'll play and hope that we can leverage this into a long-term win, even though short-term, not doing anything. Well, something dead at least helps us get closer to the Rage Hound, which then gets us closer to rising something furiously. Oh, Grove Dancer is actually nice here for that purpose as well. And to that end, I'm now going to play lands because we need to do some self-mill. We can't self-mill and cast the Hound, though, so we'll pass here. Does the Red Omen hit face? Yeah, okay. Red Omen would be nice, then. A little bit game-winny. Wow, we are falling behind and now just looking to get there on reach. Or, well, you can get some Furious Rise going. Omen to the yard. At least it was the green Omen and not the red. Hey, look at what we found. No, Aspirant is creature, pretty sure. Not very fancy, but we'll take it. Yeah, maybe Spider would have been correct. I was being greedy with my escape and not wanting to chew up my escape. Sipping at my empty cup, trying to move it out of my reach so I stop. And then take a bio break to get some more coffee. Yeah, we can keep this. Nice 2, nice 3, and some defense. Almost should have led with the mountain. I don't think there's anything they could play that we'd want to repeal, so might as well not even show them a pause if they do play something. I actually like Grove Dancer leave up repeal over pursuit here. In general, in the early game, if I can find things to do that develop my board over drawing cards, I want to do that. You want to draw your cards after you have dumped your hand so that you've put maximum pressure out and then you pile on top of it, as opposed to doing nothing while looking for something cool. Let's see what Siona finds. And we may... Ooh, yeah, nice whiff from Siona. I've been there. We'll take that. Well, well, well. I was going to offer the Celebrant as a 1-for-1 instead of the usual 2, but in this case, we could... Well, there's a couple things we can do. We can Trickster to use all our mana. We can Pursuit Repeal and hold up Repeal to use our mana. I actually think I like sending in Grove Dancer for the offer, leaving Celebrant back, and then dropping the Trickster. We have 2 cards that would actually make the Trickster bigger, and it uses all our mana most efficiently. So I'm going to first offer the Grove Dancer, but not the Celebrant. I want to try to have Celebrant die when it can do so in a 2-for-1 fashion. At least I'm not willing to just 1-for-1 on this board. When we have Trickster, and then if they play an enchantment creature here, for example, next turn we have Repeal plus Omen. Like, we can Omen Siona and repeal their enchantment creature and get in for $1 million. Interesting choice. So the first strike means we can't... I think I'm going to let him have the 4 and the second 1/1, and then we'll get him with a repeal on the commanding presence to eat Siona on the next attack. Although this is, of course, making these celebrants pretty whatever. The celebrant whatever, because we can't really attack into the 1/1s, but there's stuff we can still make happen with that. Let's do that. Manticore aspect is interesting also. But we're going to offer the Grove Dancer for if they want a couple of soldiers. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm happy with this trade, actually. And we'll just let them have it. I mean, we could Omen here. We could Omen and save the Grove Dancer and still have the Mystic repeal. So, yeah, I guess let's do that. I was thinking I was just going to let that trade happen, but we still have our play here. We still get to repeal that command and eat the incoming Siona. The nice thing about this plan is well, yeah. Well, I guess if we go for repealing the command and they blessing Siona now, then they have an indestructible Siona. But the no matter what, the command should be repealed here. Actually, let's do this. Let's get that 2-for-1 we want from the... Well, it's a 2-for-1. Yeah, we can get an 0-for-1, I know. But if we just take this trade, we also get the Viper, and then the Trickster can attack without having to use this aspect. And then we can Pursuit next turn. Apathy. Boo. But Rise still... Until they spend 3 to get rid of it for good, at least the Furious Rise is triggered. And if they want to spend their whole turn getting rid of the Trickster so it no longer triggers the Furious Rise, that's fine. We can spend next turn if we want, aspecting to get another 4. And normally you don't like throwing away an aspect for no value, but if it's drawing you cards off Furious Rise, then it's okay. Yeah, so that's awesome. They're trying to turn off our advantage engine, and I'm going to go ahead and Manticore. Again, not how we want to use Manticore, but Furious Rise draws us a card that way, so yeah. Of course, we have to use it or lose it. But at this point, I'll absolutely throw this on the Grove Dancer. Build ourselves a battle cruiser here. Find a land we can Furious Rise and Impending Doom. There it is. All right, twist my arm. I'll attack with it. We could have Blessing here and still trade. This is hot sauce. Two whiffs on Siona for Oppo, presumably with a decent quantity of auras in their deck. That's too bad. And I'm gonna Pursuit now. We may find another Omen of the Forge. Oh, we can't get it though. It's just creature and land. I'm still gonna do it before combat, see what we have here. Another horn beetle, for example. We could just get Renata, and that's funny, there is the Omen. But I'm actually just going to get horn beetle. It grows right now, and Renata is kind of at the wrong end of this game. Well, if we can get one more trigger on these beetles with the Grove Dancer, then the beetles are both 4 power, so even if they get rid of the Grove Dancer somehow, the 4 power action is still going. That'd be nice. Also, Destiny Spinner is going to make 4 power lands anyway. I agree, DJ. These are these uncommon build-around type cards are the modern awakening of limited, you know, in the sense of this has been the secret sauce of all the great limited formats, really. Tell me about any format that you've just adored, that you've just loved, and we can go through and we can find the uncommon build-arounds. They just all have them because they're so valuable to the duration, the longevity of a format, the legs of a format, you know? Well, what are they going to find with this tutor? Probably removal? Oh, Hydra's growth. Okay. I think we can win around that. It's not fast enough. One of the problems with Hydra's growth. Of course, making the dudes not bad. But speaking of making dudes... Yeah, I didn't even know. I just decided to make it and find out. Turns out 7/7 is the answer. Yeah, I think clearly they didn't have another removal spell, or they would have looked for that. Another removal aura, I should say. I think so. Spinner doesn't say untap the land. Yeah, it does, because it needs 5. Like, I think of it as a 5 mana effect because you need the land to animate and then 4 additional mana. Didn't look like it pajamin, but we didn't see... They could have gotten really unlucky, right? Maybe all of their auras were hiding at the bottom of the deck, but seemed light for Siona's. From what we saw, anyway. Two and one. Looking for more. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. This looks great. What to do first? Probably something dumb like a Grove Dancer, unless they play something. In which case we could do the Celebrant. Trouble is the Celebrant, like, if you play the Celebrant on 2 and they drop a Grizzly Bear, you don't really want to attack into it, because then you've lost the value of your Celebrant. So we want to wait till the board's a little more crowded before we run that out. And we'll start with our, basically our worst 2-drop, the Grove Dancer, and if they play anything that can trade with it, we'll happily offer that. Such as our buddy Timmy. Now, we can omen it, we can repeal it. Of course, though, we're going to start by offering a trade. And with nothing in the yard yet... Yeah, I think Omen is probably the answer here, as East says. And then we do have a repeal we can use. The other option would be to play Horn Beetle and repeal and then develop our board a little more. Yeah, and repeal puts it on the bottom in a way that's not recoverable. I'm actually shifting my opinion. The trouble is this is more narrow. Like that this gets anything is good. And if they do omen it, then we have the repeal for that for on the second time through. What I really am reticent about is giving up our board development here to take out Timuret. But then if we let him play anything, Timuret could get out of omen range. I'm just going to do it with Omen here. Yeah, it's a tough call. It's a tough call, but Omen is a pretty narrow removal spell, and getting something as good as that with it seems nice. We're going to have to repeal the Nightmare because it's just going to get snagged by the Nightmare anyway. So they get their 2 there, and we will repeal the Nightmare. For lack of, you know, because it's just going to get discarded if we don't, so might as well. We'll double spell here. And hope we can find some 4-power support for our Rider and Beetle. I'm not going to put a pot, like, we're not going to Omen. Wow. Truly a nightmare. I'm going to go with the Rage Hound. If they kill it... Well, actually, if I do this, next turn we could draw a land and Omen and Rage Hound. No, I'm going to Rage Hound. Ugh, there's that Omen that someone was worried about, and of course they got Timmy back. Sick mono black deck looking like we're facing here. But we're applying some pressure. We could still pull this off. We have, if all they play is Timmy, we have good attacks. And, you know, we still do. Oh, not yet. We gotta wait for this to go away, then we have reasonable attacks. So we'll go with Trickster here. And... Boo earns. Never mind, yeah, we just lose the Rage Hound. What does waiting do? Tim knows I don't have any choices. We'll find out, because if we can recast Hound, we're absolutely going to do it. Yeah, looks like we can, so yeah, let's do that. I should have exiled the dudes so they don't get any life out of it. They get 1 more life because of that choice. Could have just left him with the instant. Well, no joke that we're making them use premium removal, so maybe we can bleed them out of resources here. Given the power level of their plays so far, I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, if you're just joking about Nightmare, but it's not really build around, it's just straight up good. We'll go with the Rider and Rise next turn. No, I thought they were... Nantuko says we're only getting ranked Theros for 2 weeks, then it's going away. I thought they said that that's not what... Did they announce a change to their policy? Because that is against policy. Scrying on upkeep costs us 3 mana. What's our plan? Like, what are we finding and what are we doing with it? If we find land, we scry it away, but then we can't cast our Furious Rise, and we draw something that we probably can't cast anyway. Anyway, back to here. Are we offering Trickster for Marauder? The thing about this is if we can get Trickster up to 4, it turns on the Furious Rise. We're at 18. I'm going to take one shot here. I'm going to untap. I'm not going to scry. We want to naturally find... Okay, well, we get to at least cast everything and use everything. So that's okay. And now we'll put on an upkeep scry. And we didn't play a land yet this turn, so I'm going to crack the amulet now. Still don't love scrying on upkeep because it only leaves us with 3 mana, and I don't know what we can do that we're happy with for 3 mana. What can we do that we're happy with for 3 mana? Not much with that play from Oppo. Now we're just kind of, yeah, like we have to hope that the top is kind to us. We can't not. We cannot spend mana on a scry. We have to just hope we draw action. Not what we wanted to see, and now we're probably just dead. The 2-for-1 on the bleeper is just too much. And it's also pretty harmful for us that Furious Rise did literal nothing for us this game. Let's not let that go by. Last game, Furious Rise did its combo. We got both of them out, and we were just burying our opponent in card advantage that they could not overcome. And in this game, we spent 3 mana and a card to do literal 0. So let's not forget what the floor of Furious Rise is as we lose this game. We're going to offer this trade and this trade. No, we can't do that. We're on a forced block now. So actually, let's chump here and eat here. And then it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sure. Yeah, sacking grows the aspirant, but it doesn't actually... So maybe I should have gone on the Bleepus and done that. That's probably would have been our only hope. But I think we are doing theoretical magic at this point, which is to say we can't win this game. We're just kind of doing things that seem to lose it the slowest. So let's take a look at our scry and then move on. Anything we can do with this? Well, we get the scavenger, but then we can't survive. So... Good game, Oppo. Yeah, that bums me out that Wizards would change their mind on that one. Yeah, it must have been bad for their bottom line somehow to make best of one available all the time, but I would love an explanation. I have made you a rage monster. I'll give you a common parenting line. I can't make you do anything, Nantuko. Really? I'm suspicious, but okay. All right, we'll keep this. We got a couple beetles and a forerunner that can at least make them big once, and we can amulet to set up getting our island eventually. And it actually provides something to do on 3. We can go beetle on 2, beetle, amulet on 3. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Maybe they're learning the wrong lessons from the last set, huh? Let's see. Let's go get the island. And I'll attack first before running the other beetle out. Yeah, this deck just came up short on natural 4 powers. We've done some contortions to be able to create the 4 power in the deck, but like Forerunner is one of our only natural 4 powers. If we find a forest, and maybe I should have just searched for a forest because of Renata, but Renata next turn would do it. No luck for us. No Renata. So I'm going to say no attacks. So sad. Yeah, Pajaman, I did it wrong. I was trying to get the island while we could, you know, out of our amulet, but I absolutely should have prioritized Renata on 4, so that was a mistake. Punt is up to you, but definitely regret that choice now. Looks like our Forerunner will at least resolve, and so our beetles will make it up to 3 power, and with that, I love this attack, because we're going to make a couple of 3/3s. Huh. Okay, well, they are using Chain of Memory to keep our beetles small, and they're bottom, so it means maybe they don't have another answer for the Forerunner in the deck currently. No blocks. D can punt me for the way I scratch my head as long as he doesn't campaign for others to jump in. Six mana is nice. Can't cast Renata yet, which is continuing to make me sad, but we get Furious Rise. Or at least we try. Let's start with the Stampede Rider, because we really want Furious Rise more. So if they've got a counter here. There was a pause, and then they didn't pull the trigger. I'm going to go to combat and see if they do anything. They've got a Naiad out, so all of their... Heck, they have 2 Naiads out. That's pretty tilting. Especially with this. But really, not having Renata out is killing me right now. Alright, there's a forest we can get. Is it worth anything on their turn? No. Just gonna do it now. course, now the forests are coming more than I want. Let's see what... Hopefully this doesn't get countered. We have 4 mana, so we can resolve it through the uncommon. All right, then. So, if we send in both beetles, they can trade 2 beetles for 2... they can trade 1 for 1 for one of the beetles. I'm gonna send... I'm gonna send in the rider and nothing else. We'll have the first Naiad go. Suppose I could have scryed before the Furious Rise. Worked out, this is fine, but I'll keep that in mind. Although it's not going to matter, we're going to scry before we untap anyway. Aspect. What do we think about that? Yeah, I like keeping the aspect. It's a reasonable trick in this spot. Yeah, protects against double blocks, makes me feel good about sending everything, basically. We racing now, boys and girls. Trying to hang on for a 3rd win out of this deck. All right, all right. Still hanging on. Still they can't attack. Unless they do something else. Eutropia is interesting, but we're going to play Ragehound pre-combat. Pumps it up to 4 to activate the beetle. I'm going to play Eutropia in case Renata somehow ends up dead. Let's play this now. And she does, and we're fine with that. Exploding Planeswalker. Yeah, all right. We made it to 50-50, folks. Guaranteed at least as many wins as losses, and now we're gonna seek more. But I'm gonna take a short bio break, gonna grab some coffee, hit the John, and come back and march towards some more wins, we hope. All right? No, I haven't done that. Maybe we'll do that after the event action today. Remind me at the end of the event, and maybe we'll read the state of the game together. Okay? Hello! We are back. We are 3-2 in this Theros Best of 1. I'm not sure where par ended up. I didn't love this deck, but feel like it has some play. It's just if we just had some natural 4 powers, I'd feel a lot better. We have some great 4-power payoffs, but we're having to build our own 4 powers, which has made this deck a little on the awkward side. If we could just run out 3s and 4s and have them do the Hornbeetle Furious Rise thing for us, that would be amazing. But we don't. I'm gonna keep this though. Yeah, definitely Haj. Thought we were gonna get more chances at chimeras though, right? So it was a reasonable pick at the time. We also didn't have double beetle. I think we only had 2 Furious Rises at that point. Do we have a beetle yet? If we had 2 beetles, maybe it was wrong, but I think it made sense that at that point. I'm going to go with Nessian Wanderer because we can Furious Rise on 3, look for our second forest, and go Renata into Beetle Runner. Yeah, that's the thing. That was our philosophy, Funky. We passed a early green chimera for a second Omen of the Forge with the thinking that A, that chimera in itself might wheel, and that B, we'd see others, and then neither of those things happened.
All right, everyone, chill.
All right, Dionysus, listen up. Stop telling people how to punt. Stop telling people that they're not doing it right and that they should or shouldn't. Just, you can punt anything you want, but then shut up about it, or I'm going to not only time you out, I'll just ban you if you keep this up. Stop telling people how to punt. The answer is however you want. You included. However you want. Found a mountain. We're really looking for a forest for this Renata, but we'll take it. Darn it. Really want to get Renata going. But we can go with, well, let's see. Maybe I should, do we have an enchantment to play? This isn't, none of these are enchantments, so we're just going 2 creatures here. Do we want to run the Rage Hound out into this world, though? Probably not. So let's go Aspirant Hornbeetle, and then we can be a little bit more careful with the Rage Hound, including trying to get Renata out first, and then creating a 4/2 Rage Hound that turns on our 4-power stuff. We don't just want Rage Hound to die when we can't... I mean, eventually, but it would be nice for Rage Hound to die doing something useful, Mauxi, whereas potentially trading off with a double striking, or, you know, just running into that. Like, right now it trades with stuff, so that's fine, but it's no guarantee that that's going to stay that way. Like, Mauxi, optimal is that, yes, Rage Hound dies, but optimal is that it dies doing something valuable. Yikes. Probably have to chump here. What are we going to do about that? We need help. Wow, offering us Wanderers if we want to trade off a Beetle. I guess we don't, though, right? So we're going to prevent 2. Although maybe, like, if we trade off for one of these, it's a 1-for-1. They go Beetle for Wayfarer. We lose a Beetle, but the Beetle's not really going to get the job done against this very soon anyway. I guess we're top decking for answers to Favored. And maybe we should, like, we're taking 8 on the Favored. That's a pretty hefty punch, but we may just be looking for our Mystic Repeal, or else we lose this game. We're gonna Swingy Aura set. Swingy Auras are gonna be their swingy selves, but we're not out of it yet. I'm going to just take, though. I'm gonna stick with this block. All right, there's our forest. That's where it kind of starts for us, but we do have to like basically chump this next turn and hope they don't have more action. We could play the Forerunner now, and what does that do for us? Forerunner gives us an extra card for next turn and makes us a 3/3, and we have a 5/3. A 3/3 and a 5/3 is 6 points of toughness, which does survive 4 points of power, but then they take out the Forerunner and the Beetle's not enough to kill the thing that's left over. Oh yeah, Renata's 4 power 2 right now, so let's just do that. And that doesn't hurt. Getting a land out of the deal. We are definitely in chump mode here, though. Let's see what we can find. Huh? Maybe we can get big enough. No, we don't Hajj, but we do have a Mystic Repeal to get rid of the Commanding Presence. That's what I was saying our main out is right now. We don't even have like a Blessing. Like, we don't have much interaction at all. We're very non-interactive that way. We have 2 Omens of the Forge, a Mystic Repeal, and we're done for. Like, we just have no interaction for this thing. But they chose not to attack, so that's good. Wow, if they're not going to do that, I'm going to go Forerunner, Armchair, Spider here. Oh, sorry, I forgot the Impending Doom goes away, but I don't think we really want to... Like, we're too defensive now to want to make something attack every turn anyway, so I don't mind that we're losing access to the Impending Doom. And no attacks. Spider can bounce off that Pegasus, and hopefully they're still not on attack with favored plan. If you double block, does the first strike only hit the first blocker or both? Both, to the extent that the damage is available. Like, so if you block a 5/5 double striker, or 5/5 first or double striker with say 2 3/3s, it's going to do 5. It's going to do 3 to the first one and then 2 to the second one, all before anything happens. Yeah, so pinging with the aspirant definitely matters in terms of our possible plays. We're going to play Rage Hound. It may we don't care if the Rage Hound dies. I'm going to play that out. Do we have any kind of attacks? Yeah, Aspirant can sack the Rage Hound if need be. That's a good point. Do we have attacks here? What are we doing? They have no double. We have just no answer, though, is the problem. I don't think there's anything we have to attack with here, right? Like, they trade off for the Forerunner or Renata, which are our big boys. We can send in a 5/5 Horn Beetle. But then they just double block, and then we lose our Beetle, and we're sad about that, right? So I'm going to say no attacks here. Well, we need to get lucky to cast Eutropia, since we need the blue source next turn, or Eutropia goes away off the Furious. Which is, yeah, it's too bad, because this is a real win condition for us on this board. Huh. Well, let's see what they're doing, because we can ping it to finish it off if we want. Yeah, all right, I'm in. We can sack the Spider or the Rage Hound. Probably just the Rage Hound. I mean, we can. Well, I guess the Rage Hound technically trades with something, right? They don't have any first strike, so yeah, we'll just we'll do. I'm gonna do the spider. Yeah, the spider's the only reach, but we're gonna get it back bigger, and right now it kills the only flyer, so it's not that big a deal. I know it's empty for right now. Yeah, but they don't have any right now. Oh yeah, it does have first strike. Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I was thinking that that it was like activated double strike, right? I forgot it had natural first strike. Given that it has natural first strike, yeah, we'll just send the Rage Hound. It was only the first strike that made me want to do it that way, though. Okay, we have a... Let's cross your fingers and hope for that island right here. Oh, man. Island in the top 3 would be so sweet. Come on. One time. Ugh. Ouch. Let's see. We have only 2 enchantments, so unlike last game... Oh, 3. We can make it 3-3. Not quite worth it. 3-3 on the lands. 4? What am I missing? Oh, 4. Yeah, right. Furious Rise. Still not worth attacking into the favored, but we're close. Close. So sad. Like, this was a real win con for us. Now, like, I'm trying to figure out... I guess we're trying to get big and tramply enough to somehow overrun them. I don't think you can sack lands to our friend the Blood Aspirant, or I'd be doing that all over the place. You can? Maybe you can. Okay. Yeah, you can only sacrifice a creature or enchantment. If you can do something else to sacrifice lands, it does put the power on, but it's only creature or enchantment for sacks. Oh, animate with spinner and stack. Yeah. We could do that. I thought you were just talking about in general. Probably makes sense to do chump and sack, although we don't have the mana for it right now. It's 2 to sack something and 5 to... Well, I guess we can animate a tapped land, but then it can't do the chump thing. Looks like they're done. They didn't want to do it anyway. So we could make a land, sack it, and ping a soldier. Furious Rise to Aspirant to keep Eutropia. How does that keep Eutropia, though? Oh, because it doesn't exile it? But then how do we play it? Oh, I see, because until you... Because I'm reading the card now. That's pretty... No, I don't think you give up your engine just to have Eutropia. I don't think so. Anyway, let's go... Yeah, I was going to do the thing, but now I'm out of time. Sorry. So we'll wait, and now we have that option on D. Close to lethal in terms of trample damage. I don't know, they have a lot of toughness. We'll see. I don't know, War Furnace. I'm 25 plus years in, and I don't know all the rules to this game. Yeah, I bet they're holding land. $16 cards. We've got 3 lands left and an amulet, so effectively 2 lands left in the library. I think it is worth killing some soldiers and making a big aspirant. At least there. Yeah, we could start doing that on attacks. Let's wait a turn, though, before we consider that play. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 32, 33, 34, 35 points of trample, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, but first strike throws a wrench into that, actually. We don't even have the math on our side outside of the first strike, so we're not attacking, but that's what I was doing, just trying to figure out where we're at on that calculus. Oh, I'm playing lands. We have a lot in hand, but I've played a land every turn. Right? I mean, I don't think I've held... If I did, it was on accident. I've been trying to play lands every turn. Nothing I want to sack here. Oh, we can do this, though, and grow the Trickster. And we're now empty on basics. That's funny. We're gonna Relentless Pursuit gets us nothing because there's no basics left in our library. We got it all. So now we got 10 action cards. What can we do with that? I guess we can Pursuit, and it helps our yard. No, it gets and. I know it gets a creature. The point is we don't get two. I'm just saying Relentless Pursuit is no longer a divination. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we can't get anything from it. Yeah, also Pursuit does have some decking risk. I think we have an alpha incoming, but we should Rage Hound before we do that. Let me get the Rage Hound out. To that end, maybe we Omen. Let's see, what's in the yard? We've got two others. Yeah, if we Omen, we can get the Rage Hound. I don't want to attack... Like, we're not going to win by decking them, therefore we may as well continue to leverage our card draw to build out our board faster. Yeah, lands are... No, we do want to be drawing 2 a turn, because we have to win by damage, so what are you waiting for? What like, you don't want to deck, so you don't want to find the cards to win the game with? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, we could sack a Spider. This is a tough one. I'm going to end the turn. Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar. Thank you, Smash. Appreciate that. There's an observation that if we sack the Omen, we lose one of our points of power and toughness off of our land. That's a fair point. But we may... Like... Yeah, also... Lands are 5/5 right now, but not if we sack the Omen. I think we do the spider trick, though, and ping the 1/1. What about their 3/1 East? Oh yeah, let's ping their 3/1. I like it. That's worth more damage. But we'll leave this for the land and Renata buffing. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Although we need all 12 mana to make 2 lands. But I think if we make 1 land and have the repeal up, we're going to be pretty happy. Not yet, Haj, but we still got 8 cards in our library. This game is going forever. If we sack the Omen now, what are we doing? What is that? I guess we get... well, we would repeal the Commanding Presence after blocks. I'm running out of Hourglass. I'm going to get on with it here. One, two, three, four, five. Ooh, we can even do... I was wrong about my math, so we get it all. We get it all. Which, I was wrong in a good way about our math. We get to make 2 dudes and have the repeal ready. Math is for blockers. If I'm losing the event on this, I'm sorry, but I'm out of hourglasses and I gotta make some choices, so we're gonna do this. And I think the Mystic Repeal on the favored block is gonna be nice for us. Well, we can do the math now that I've committed to it. 10, 15, 23, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 46, 47 trample. And 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah! All right. Maybe they didn't do the math either. Maybe that was a no math win for anybody. All right, we have secured more wins than losses for the event. I always like when that happens. It's like there's this nice little sequence. We get 3 wins and make it to break even on wins. We get 4 wins and we guarantee coming out ahead on wins. And then 5 wins always just feels like then we're basically coming out ahead on gems too. All right, with Amulet and Omen, we actually get both of our fixes in. We won't be able to Underworld Rage on 2 without a natural mountain draw, but maybe we'll find that as well. Rage plus Manticore is a nice trick combo. All right, come on. Natural Mountain off the top would be amazing. That's what we really want here. Let's see if we get it. Come on, come on, come on. Mountain, 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 mountain. Nope. No luck for us. We better get that mountain now. Well, to be fair, we cut a forest for the amulet, so if we had gone with no amulet, we'd just be all forests right now. Oppo looking to end our day with a mighty curve out. That's a pretty good draw, all things considered here. It's a little awkward to be a 2-drop, though. We really want to spend all our mana, but there's nothing we can do to spend our mana and protect on this board, so we really have to either offer the Rage Hound for the trade or the Wanderer to bounce 2 from the slaughter, but then they could sacrifice anyway. So let's go with... Yeah, I really wanted Hound into Aspect, but okay, we'll put down the Hound and try to trade for something here. Ken Mage has it called out, but honestly, Ken Mage is one of those things that we couldn't play around too much. I mean, if you want to play the Wanderer out, what happens in that spot? Like, we play the Wanderer out and we're blocking an Eidolon, like that's not game winning either. Oppo just showing what a good red aggressive deck can do here. These double Eidolons, that was especially rough because the Mogus allowed them to draw 2 and kill. So yeah, this we just got raffle stomped after a pretty good showing up to this point. This makes us look like we are not even playing Magic. Like, I don't even know if it's worth playing the Wanderer. It doesn't even do anything. We like trade for a Rage Hound and take 6 and go to 2. Yeah, we're done with this, folks. Done with this. All right, we tried to make it to 4, we failed. Or tried to make it to 5 and failed, but we got to 4. I think 4 is pretty good for this deck. If this had been one of ours that ended up under 500, I wouldn't have been surprised. So to be slightly over is thumbs up by me. Not only, we was a little wishy-washy. I think we kind of got settled into red-green by the second pack there, East, but then the packs just weren't kind to us. I think if you could take some of the weird 3s that we had in this deck and replace them with just natural 4-power creatures, then I think I like the deck. Also, we were just pretty low on removal, on interaction. We had 1 Mystic Repeal and 2 Omens for our interaction with opponents' stuff, and that's really rough. At that point, you're really relying on your aggression and your build around uncommons and your card draw to just get wide enough to get there, and you can see that works sometimes, but not very consistently. So maybe with more consistent, easy 4-power creatures, the Beetles and the uncommon enchantments could have done what we were looking to do, more than 4 wins worth. But we'll take it. 4 wins. Yeah, Warbrier's Blessing. We just didn't end up... It was pretty rough, really, with the pack luck we got after we settled into what we're doing. I'm going to hold off. We'll wait till 1 more pack, and then we'll open all 10 at once here. But I will say thank you to my YouTube friends for hanging out and watching this draft. We'll catch you for the next one, and I'm going to talk about the state of the game now. So I'm going to do that on a separate video. If you're curious to get my reactions on the latest State of the Game article, look out for that upload too. That'll be up soon. So bye, YouTube.